If you love audio as much as we do, we've got a real treat for you today because one of our favorite speaker vendors, Sonus Faber, has created a brand new flagship speaker, and we're going to get to hear all about it. Hi, I'm Joe with Gramophone, and today we're here with Ricky from McIntosh and Sonus faber.
Yep.
Ricky, how are you?
I'm doing great, doing great. Thanks for coming in. We really love having folks like you come in and check stuff out.
Well, thank you, and thanks so much for taking some time for us to explain with our viewing audience what this new product, the Suprema, is all about. You know, about a year ago, last summer anyway, we did a video on the Ada 2, which we have at our Experience Center in Timonium, Maryland. That's been a very popular video. And I say in the video, we'll put a link to the description, by the way, so that you can check that video out. But I say in the video that it's the single most cohesive presentation of music I had ever heard from a speaker at that point. This now takes us to a whole different level.
It's a different universe, truly. Yeah. It's a really, really remarkable piece of engineering that we've got going on here.
We can see it's two sections.
It's two sections. It's technically three if you want to include the crossover
That's right.
section as well, which I think we should.
Yes.
And it's a system. It's a really sophisticated set of speakers and electronics that we think truly provides you with the best access to audio that is possible. You know, obviously we're powering it with a lot of really great McIntosh amplification, but specifically talking about the Suprema, you know, this is our new $750,000 set of speakers, and when you take a look at it, you can really tell why. The back of both cabinets are carbon fiber, really, really beautifully crafted in here. We actually have some videos of those sections that are being in the process of creation. It really feels like you're going to like a Lamborghini factory. It's pretty crazy. If you take a look at the wood, obviously you have this glossy glass-like finish on this walnut with a slight red stain to it. And these things are customizable as well. I don't have a full list of the customizations yet because they're that new. The leather that we use on these is some of the finest leather you can get from Italy. Used a lot in, once again, back to that super comparison, this type of leather from this leather house is used in a lot of these coach-built vehicles that are costing you millions and millions of dollars. This is like taking that supercar home. You know, some of the things that I think are really, really remarkable on this is you have the voice of Sonus faber, which is kind of what Sonus faber is known for, this mid-range and tweeter section. Well, on this speaker, it's actually mechanically actuated, and you can customize the angle of it for your room in the tuning process. You know, there are a set of controls at the back of the speaker. There's also a set of controls here in the crossover for the subwoofer itself. So as you see, between the speakers, we have access to 18 customization controls to really, really fine-tune them to that space. And on the subject of that fine-tuning, if you pick up a pair of these speakers, Sonus faber will send a technician from Italy to your house to make sure that they are perfect in your space, no matter what else is going on. You know, so we've obviously got the really beautiful, massive tower with a set of, what do we have? I think 10 drivers on this thing, between the rear firing drivers as well. So that's a really cool feature to customize based on the depth you have them from the wall. Looking at the subwoofer itself, we have a pair of almost 15-inch drivers, which if you take a look at those surrounds, you can kind of tell how much excursion you can get out of these things. You know, when they get pumping, they really, really get pumping. And talking about the cohesiveness of the system that you mentioned with the Ada 2s, this really takes that and turns it on its head as far as what you think is possible. By taking this complete audio system and giving you a really extremely sophisticated crossover, we're able to extract the absolute maximum amount of usable information from the music that you're listening to and truly transport you emotionally to another space. You can sit in the chair in this room listening to these speakers, and it's otherworldly. I have no real other way to describe it because no one else has experienced sound this good before. Not on this level, with the fit and finish combined with the service that we provide and, you know, the history of Sonus faber. It's just a really beautiful set of speakers here.
Ricky, if I might just inquire real quickly, the fit and finish, when you see this in person, because I'd seen the pictures online, but when you see it in person, the fit and finish is spectacular. And my understanding is that a person can actually go to the factory in Italy and make some specific choices that they would like to have.
Yeah, I don't have a full list of all of those customization options at this point, but there are a number of things you can change. I know there's a few different finishes that I've seen on the actual wood. Traditionally, Sonus faber offers both a walnut and a wingate option as far as the timber itself. I don't see this one being any different. Beyond that, I inquire with Sonus faber through their website or through your dealer as far as what customization options are available. But when you are getting into a set of Supremas, you're going to go to the Sonus faber factory in Vicenza, Italy. After that, they're going to come to your house. Once again, it's a really, you become part of the family at that point.
Mm-hmm. And Ricky, you spoke a little bit about custom tuning this system to the room,
Yeah.
which I think is huge, because you and I were discussing earlier that a lot of times a consumer won't necessarily fully understand how big of a difference the room itself. The room is really one of the most important components in any
Truly.
audio system. And with a custom tuning from your technicians in my home, you can virtually guarantee that I'm going to be happy with the sound, because you'll be able to make it as good as it can possibly be in the environment that I want to listen in.
And to the way that you want to listen to as well, right? Some people, everyone's ears are different, and
That's
maybe
right.
you want a little bit more highs or a little bit more lows, a little bit more mids. Maybe you want it to express a slightly different way. As we mentioned, there's a myriad of controls on these things, so you can really, really fine tune them to the exact listening style in the exact listening space.
Well, Ricky, one of the things I would comment as well is in our Experience Center in Timonium, Maryland, what we have found is that when consumers can really hear what the top end of, in any type of experience, you and I were talking about fine dining or a fine automobile, when consumers really hear what is possible in the audio space, it's a game changer, because you didn't realize what it could be like. And in listening to these with you a little bit earlier, I'm just going to say, if somebody can make it here to the House of Sound in New York, and of course it's done all by appointment, you really want to, because if you're considering a purchase of Sirius Audio, this will change your idea of what Sirius Audio really means,
Yeah.
and just how much fun it can all sound.
One of my favorite things to hear people say after touring the house is, I didn't know it could do that.
Right.
And that's the whole point of what we're doing here, is we want to show people what they didn't know was possible.
That's right. Very good. Thank you, Ricky. For more information about Sonus faber in general, Suprema in particular, and all of our fine brands, visit Gramophone.com. And of course, shop Sky by Gramophone, where you can get a secure checkout with fast and free shipping straight to your door on so many of our brands. Not on this. This is a custom purchase. And we'd love to have you come visit us. We have stores in Timonium, Columbia, and Gaithersburg, Maryland. If you come to the Timonium store, you'll want to see the Experience Center, where we have this product's baby brother, the AIDA 2, set up and ready for you to listen to. We promise you it will change your idea of what great sound is all about. Thank you for joining us today in this video. We look forward to seeing you soon.